And welcome to another edition of our treatment of the Sunday School lesson. Today's lesson is entitled Sarah, Mother of Israel, and it's for October the 20th, 2024. Now, a quick little reminder, this lesson plan is taken from the Radiant Life Adult Sunday School series published by the Assemblies of God. You can order your copy of a Sunday School book by giving them a call at 855-642-2011. And again, let me remind you that I am not affiliated with the publishing company and I am not being compensated for that little recommendation, but it is a great Sunday school book. Genesis 12, 1 through 3. Now the Lord said to Abram, "Go from your country and your kindred and your father's house to the land that I will show you, and I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, so that you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and him who dishonors you I will curse, and in you all the families of the earth will be blessed." Genesis 12, 4 through 5. So Abram went as the Lord had told him, and Lot went with him. Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people that they had acquired in Haran, and they went out to go to the land of Canaan. When they came to the land of Canaan. Genesis 12, 6 through 9. Abram passed through the land to the place at Shechem, to the oak of Moreh. At that time the Canaanites were in the land. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, "To your offering I will give this land." So he built there an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him. From there he moved to the hill country on the east of Bethel and pitched his tent, with Bethel on the west and Ai on the east. And there he built an altar to the Lord and called upon the name of the Lord. And Abram journeyed on, still going toward the Negeb. Abram had been living in idolatry in the land of Mesopotamia. The word that is translated kindred is moledeth in Hebrew. Sometimes it means your native land, as it does in Ruth 2:11 and Jeremiah 22:10. Sometimes that Hebrew word means relatives or children, as it does in Genesis 23:7 and Genesis 48:6. It easily means both definitions here in these verses, as Abraham was both leaving his homeland and most of his relatives. Canaan primarily refers to the geographical region of Phoenicia, Syria, Palestine. Canaanites refer to the wide range of folks that live in that region at one time or another. Now, it took a lot of faith for Abram and his family to leave the security of their homeland for the land of promise. Mesopotamia was one of the most sophisticated and developed areas in the ancient world. It's where writing was invented. Abraham left this area to go to the promised land on faith. 1 Peter 3, 3 through 6. Do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry or the clothing you wear. But let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart, with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is God's sight very precious. For this is how the holy women who hoped in God used to adorn themselves, by submitting to their own husbands, as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. And you are her children, if you do good and do not fear everything that is frightening. A couple of things I want to be clear about. First, folks should dress properly and not show everything they have. Paul told Timothy in 1 Timothy 2, 9 and 10, likewise also that women should adorn themselves in respectful apparel, with modesty and self-control, not with braided hair and gold or pearls or costly attire, but what is proper for women who profess godliness with good works. Second, I want to make sure I say both husband and wife, both father and mother, should live up to their responsibilities in the family. Now, that does not mean women are second-class citizens. Women can serve in any capacity as a man. We see that some women were even prophets in the Bible. For example, Miriam in Exodus 15 and 20, and Deborah in Judges 4 are prophetesses. Genesis 17, 15, and 16. And God said to Abraham, as far as Sarai, your wife, you shall not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. I will bless her, and moreover, I will give you a son by her. I will bless her, and she shall become nations. Kings of people shall come from her. God promises the miracle of the birth of Isaac. Sarah is the only woman renamed by God in the Bible. That unique honor. Genesis 17 through 19. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said to himself, shall a child be born to a man who is 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? And Abraham said to God, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. And God said, no, your wife Sarah, your wife shall bear a son, and you shall call his name Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him as an everlasting covenant for an offspring after him. Now, Abraham was not laughing in disbelief. Abraham had faith. Abraham was laughing with joy and surprise. Now, this name of Isaac, Isaac's name in Hebrew is Teshachag, which is derived from the verb teshag, which is the word used here translated as laughter. Genesis 18, 19 through 11. They said to him, where is Sarah, your wife? And he said, she's in the tent. The Lord said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. And Sarah was listening in the tent door behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years. The way of women had ceased to be with Sarah. Genesis 18, 12 through 15. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, after I am worn out and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure? And the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, shall I indeed bear a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time, I will return to you about this time next year. And Sarah shall have a son. And Sarah denied it, saying, I did not laugh, for she was afraid. He said, no, but you did laugh. Friends, absolutely nothing is too hard for God. Jeremiah said in Jeremiah 32, 26 and 27, The word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is anything too hard for me? Hebrews 11 and 12. By faith, Sarah herself received power to conceive, even when she was past the age, since she considered him faithful who had promised. Therefore, from one man in whom as good as dead was born descendants as many as the stars of heaven and as many as the innumerable grains of sand by the seashore. God pronounced blessings on the Jewish nation by very old people. Genesis 15:5 states, and he brought him outside and said, look toward the heaven and number the stars, if you are able to number them. Then he said to him, so shall your offspring be. The promises of God. Well, friends, thank you for spending this few minutes with us. If you want to get in touch with me, you can call me at 423-355-3859. You can email me at donniebryson@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, www.gospelmailbox.org. Well, friends, good Lord willing, I'll be back with you next weekend.